Hi, this is part 2 of the guided practice for combined like terms. Okay, so yesterday we covered expressions that were short. These are longer expressions and they have other letters, not just the X. Okay, so on this one it says determine the value of M, then graph the result. So you have the document. Remember, you need to copy this equation on a piece of paper and follow me with the lesson. So on this one, we need to solve for M. So I'm going to highlight all the terms that contain the M. Let me zoom in a little bit more. All right, there we go. Okay, let me put it closer. All right. So these are the terms that contain the letter M. Remember, we're doing combine like terms. Let me write it over here. Combine like terms. And this is part 2 of the guided practice. Guided. Okay. So here we have the equal sign. This is where we put our line. Now on this side, we only have one term with the letter, but then we have these two that are numbers. So which ones can we combine here? We can combine the 14 and the 20. This is going to give us, you have positive 14 plus 20. That will give you 14 plus 20, 34 minus 5m. Now over here, what do we need to combine? Only the terms that contain the letters. So 8 minus 7 gives you 1m plus 10. Alright? So here's our letter M, the one that we need to solve for. I'm going to bring down the equal sign. Don't forget the equal sign. Okay, we want the letters on the left. Remember? Letters on the left, numbers on the right. So I don't want this letter on this side. I want it on the left. So what do we do with this one? We add 5m. We add 5n. Remember, I need to cancel these two. So these two get canceled. And notice how I put the 5m underneath where the other m is. So 1 plus 5 is 6m. Bring down the 10, bring down the equal sign, bring down the 34. So now, what I'm left with is this number over here on the left. I want it over here on the right. Oops, sorry. I want this number over here on the right. So, what do I need to do? Subtract the 10, subtract 10. These two get canceled. So bring down the 6m, bring down the equal sign, and 34 minus 10 gives you 24. What is our final step? Divide, divide. So divide by 6, divide by 6. This becomes a 1, and m equals 24 divided by 6 is 4. Now here in the instruction says determine the value of m, so this is the value of m, and then graph the result. So remember how to graph. This is the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the 4, and this is the value of m. So here's our answer. Here's the graph. Okay? All right. Now, let's move on to this other exercise. Let's see. What is the value of x in the following equation? So I have terms with x here, here. And then we have the equal sign. And on this side, we have this one. Now, what are the terms that contain only numbers? I'm going to circle them. This one, and this one. So, which ones can be combined on this side? The ones that contain the x, and you see 8 plus 2. That gives you 10x. Bring down the 27 minus 27 equals Over here on this side, on the right side of the equal sign, which ones can we combine? We can combine the 2 and the 15 because they are numbers. So the numbers go with numbers, letters with letters. So 2 plus 15 gives you 17. There's no other term with the x, so this one just bring it down. Minus 8x. So this is our term that contains x. Oh, sorry, I need to focus this. There we go. Okay, now we want letters to the left, numbers to the right, remember? So on the right, which one is a letter? This term is the one that contains a letter. I don't want it here, I want it on the left. So what do? I add 8x. But if I add it here, I need to add it over here. Do I put it underneath the 27? No. I have to put it underneath the one that contains also the x. So plus 8x. X's with x's. These two get canceled. X's with x's. 10 plus 8. 18x. Bring down the minus 27. Bring down your equal sign. Bring down the 17. And these two, of course, were canceled. They're gone. Okay, so now I'm left with this number over here on the left. I don't want it there, so what do I do with it? It has a negative, so plus 27. If I add it here, I have to add it on this side. So these two get canceled. Bring down the 18. X, bring down the equal sign. What is 17 plus 27? That will be 44. Let me check my numbers. 50 plus 2, 17. Yes. Minus 27 plus. Okay. 44. I think I'm right. Okay. All right. So finally, to solve for x, what do? Divide by 18, divide by 18. So this becomes a 1, and x equals, I'm going to just put the division on a regular calculator. Let me get my calculator from my phone. Oh, sorry. I don't know what's wrong with my phone today. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, so 44 divided by 18 is going to get, since you're going to be using the calculator from your phone, it really doesn't matter. You're going to get a decimal, 2.44. 2.44. If you're using the scientific calculator, one that you got online or whatever, then you will be able to get a fraction. If you get a fraction, you're going to have, I believe, 22 over 9. Both of these answers are correct. On this one, they're not asking us to graph, so that these are our answers. Okay. All right. Number 7. Determine the value of W in the following equation, and then graph the result. So I'm going to highlight the terms that contain the W, this one. Here's our equal sign, so I'm going to put a line right here so you can see which terms you need to combine on this side and which terms you need to combine on this side. Okay, on the left, I have numbers, the -10 and the -5. On the right, I only have the +3. So I'm going to begin on the left. I can combine 3W minus 1W. So 3 minus 1 is 2W. And then I can combine the -10 plus the -5. This gives me -15. And this equals, over here, what can we combine? we can combine these two. 5W minus 4W gives you 1W. And this one, you cannot combine it with anything else on this side, so just bring it down, plus 3. All right, remember, we're solving for W. We want letters to the left, numbers to the right. We already did combine like terms, now letters to the left, numbers to the right. So this is combine like terms, just labeling the steps. All right, so over here I don't want the W on this side, I want it on the left. So what am I going to do? Subtract 1W. And where do I subtract? Over here, minus 1W. So these two get canceled. 2 minus 1 gives you 1W. Bring down this guy right here. Bring down the equal sign. Bring down the 3 because these two were gone. Finally, what do we do with this number? We don't want it there. You add 15 and you add 15. So these two get canceled. Bring down the 1W. Oh, sorry. Bring down the 1W. Bring down the equal sign. Bring down the, and then here you add 3 plus 15 gives you 18. So if you just divide by 1, the W equals 18. It's asking you to graph. So remember, you draw the number line. Here's the 0. We count 17 spaces. We can just assume that the 18 is over here. And here's where the W is. And this is your answer. Okay? Alright, as you watch the video, you need to show that you did all this work. Is like attending the class. Okay? Alright, number 8. Solve and graph. So, which letters do we need to solve? Which letter do we need to solve for? We need to solve for H. I see it here, I see it here, and I see it here. Here's our equal sign. This is where I'm going to draw the line. And then I have this number, this number, this number. Okay. So, on this side, we need to combine 5H minus 1H. Remember, this is like having a negative 1. 5 minus 1, 4H. Then combine these two. 12 minus 4 gives you 8. Remember, you do these operations. If you can't do them in your head, just put them in your calculator like this. Because you see 12 minus 4. And that's how I got the 8. Okay? Over here on the right side, I can combine the 3H minus the 2H. 3 minus 2 gives you 1H. And just bring down the 2. So now we need letters on the left, numbers on the right. So what is the one that I'm going to subtract here? This one. Subtract 1H. And I'm going to subtract because over here this one is positive. So subtract here, subtract here. Notice how I put the H underneath the other H. So 4 minus 1, 3H. Plus 8. This equals, what happens with these two? They get canceled. They're gone. I'm going to scratch them off. And just bring down the 2. Finally, well, not finally. This is one step before the final. I'm solving for H, remember? But I still have this number over here. I don't want it, so what do? Subtract, subtract. The opposite of this sign. So these two get canceled. I'm going to scratch them off. Bring down the 3H equals 2 minus 8. Look what happens if you put this on the calculator. 2 minus 8 gives you negative 6. Okay, so this is negative 6. Sorry, my dog is crying. I hope it doesn't make a lot of noise. Alright, so I'm going to divide by 3, divide by 3. So these two become a 1, bring down the h, and this equals negative 6 divided by 3 gives you negative 2. And this is your answer. H equals negative 2. We need to graph it. So look what happens to the graph. It's a number line. H equals negative 2. So now here's a 0, and this will be negative 1, and this will be negative 2. So this is where the H is. And this is your graph. Okay? Alright. So here's your last part of the guided practice. Remember to show me this work in your paper, on a piece of paper, and turn it in. Alright? Bye.